everybody, I'm HatchetMansMyth. I speedrun Mega Man 1 for the Legacy Collection, and today we're going to be doing it on a treadmill. I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to get started in 3, 2, get this on first.
Let the machine start.
And go.
Here we go, Mega Man 1 on a treadmill. So yeah, Mega Man 1, for you who are not aware too much of this game, there's going to be a couple of zips and stuff in this game. Really interesting stuff. The first stage is going to be pretty basic, and I'll be doing pretty most of the talking for Hatchet here, because he's, as you can see, he's running basically on a treadmill. Well, oh yeah, you can see it. The stage is pretty straightforward. It's got to be really hard to keep focus while running on this one, though. A lot of tight jumping going on, but nothing too game-breaking for now. It's going to be pretty simple. Jump everywhere and shoot the enemies and trying to do it as fast as possible. There's going to be a couple of tricks later, though, with the magnet beam, which are going to be really interesting for those who never saw Mega Man 1 speedruns. Zips are pretty fun in this game. You can get some pretty interesting results here and there, and even some unwanted results sometime with that. But that's going to be for the later stages. So here you see Hatchet did this perfect lined up jump with the ladder, so you want to climb up faster here. Here also you got the Susies you got to watch for. Got to pause select to those guys usually. Here's Hatchet, it's getting pretty low on health. He's got to be careful to not dive for those guys. Jeez. That's the first death for Hatchet here. Like I said, it's really hard to keep your focus on this one. It is really hard. Like, even sitting down, I know what it is to play this game, and Cutman, even the first stage, like, can be pretty reset-inducing here. And you see here in the chat, some people said they are just tired just seeing you run. Well, I couldn't do it personally, so hats off to HatchetMansMyth here, doing this on the treadmill. It's pretty crazy. What you saw right there, he grabbed the ladder from the top of the screen, on the bottom of the screen actually, and he skipped a bit of time over there. So that's a little trick you have in this game. Now I have to watch for those turrets in the corridor. And let's go for the Cutman fight. Cutman fight's pretty basic. You would just want to shoot him and not waste any frames possible. Just shoot him as fast as you can. And every enemy in this game has some invincibility frames, which lasts a certain amount of time. But the funny thing about those enemies, they have each a different invincibility time, and when you press pause, the invincibility time actually goes on. So if you pause and unpause, you can actually catch the enemy again with the same bullet over and over again, and that's going to be a trick we're going to use later into the game. I hope Hatchet's doing well there on the second stage. Here we're starting Elect Man, the hellish climb. Even for casual players, here's a tough climb to do. Here's just gonna pause buffer through here. By the way, with Mega Man 1, you have 2 pauses. You have one pause with the menu, the weapon select menu, and you have the select pause, we call it. With the select pause, you can actually go through enemy and bypass a bit of the knockback animation. So you can go a little bit faster through enemies. So that's why sometimes when he collides with enemies, you're gonna see him quickly pause and unpause the game. So here comes what I call the Ledge of Doom. This is very dangerous in the speedrun. Oh, and we missed it, unfortunately. Yeah, this ledge jump is really tough to do. It saves a lot of time, but if you miss it, you lose about 15 seconds in the speedrun. So it's really hard to nail. There we go. Hatchet got it. Nice. So, alright. So, this is one of the only parts you have to watch not fall into a hole in this game. not to die, of course, because the whole Elecman stage is based about climbing, and this is one of the hardest stage to be consistent at as a speedrunner, I think, personally. And I think some other Mega Man 1 speedrunners would agree with me. This stage is really, really tough to be consistent at, just because of this trick. Now HatchetMansMyth is gonna do a trick. Now he's gonna be stuck on the top of the ladder. He's gonna press up, get stuck through the wall, and then he's gonna get the magnet grab right here, out of bounds. So that's a trick to get the magnet beam early in the game, which normally you would only be able to get with Gutsman weapon. So now, with the magnet beam now in his hands, he has full power. He can get some pretty fast climbing sections, especially like in this stage. And the magnet beam also will give him the possibility to do some zips in the next stages, which are going to be really interesting. Yeah, no jail. Yeah, I got a comment here in the chat, because there's a possibility of self-locking when you get that magnet beam. So it's always a dangerous spot. So here's the last section of the stage. It's gonna be the climbing section, which is really hard to do, even on casual runs. Like, you have to put a specific height of magnet beam, jump over the beam. Here's a Hatchet's going for a slower but safer strat, and he's doing well for that, because he's really running low on health. He's gotta be careful. Cutman fight's pretty easy. One step forward, shoot a scissor, jump over his electricity, and he's done. So that's all for the second stage. Yeah, he's running low on health. The pun. No pun intended there, but I guess it was good. Yeah. Alright, let's go into Iceman stage now. This stage is where the fun begins. The real fun begins. So basically, the first section you just have to shoot those guys and collect the pickups. Usually you would collect the pickups to avoid the lag, but since HatchetMansMyth is playing on a Legacy Collection version, there's an option on this one called Turbo Computer, which eliminates all the original NES lag that would occur in the game. And here's gonna be the first zip setup attempt. And it's really, he got the setup right there. And he's gonna screen wrap through the screen and bypass completely the Yuko block section, which is the appearing and disappearing blocks. So that's really nice right here. And right there, he's gonna cross the section with the magnet beams, which normally wouldn't be in normal order, wouldn't be possible. Oh, and we got a death here, which is sad here. It's tough to get, because now he's gonna climb back with the Yuko blocks. But like I said, this game is really hard. Just playing casually and just speedrunning, like sitting down on a chair. So again, hats off to Hatchet to play that while running on the treadmill. That's insane. Alright, let's try that again. Now it's gonna get a refill here. There's a strat discovered not long ago here that you can do. It's called the buffer strat. Oh, unfortunately missed the setup, which would have give Hatchet here another screen wrap to bypass the second screen and completely skip that big squishy guy, we call him. That's actually Big Eye, for those who don't know that character's name. And here's got to be some possible zips while putting a beam at a specific height. All the zips will work like this. Oh, gotta be watch out. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's death right there. Oh, and that's a game over. So now Hatchet's gonna have to run a little bit longer now. I hope you have a good breath, Hatchet. So,
oh man, love is steel, baby, love is steel.
Lead is steel. All right. So we're gonna go again through Iceman stage. That's the unfortunate part of this stage. It's really hard to do and not screw anything up. So here you got the beam setup again. So if I may explain the zip here also. Whenever you put a magnet beam right under the score meter at the top of the screen, you have a chance to put the exact pixel height of another beam and get a zip through the screen, which was make you go really fast, and you can actually bypass some screen while doing that. It's a really hard trick to do because it's a pixel perfect jump. Alright, that's why you should run here in real life, exactly, right? Oh, and now he's got a corridor zip here. Corridor zips work the same way as the regular zips, but you have to put your magnet beam at the exact height of Mega Man from the ceiling, so it's a tough thing to do also. Here's the Iceman fight, just gonna mash select here, and that's the first instance of select pause boss beaten by with the select pause glitch. Now going into Fireman. This stage also can be hard for, especially like I think for early to mid skilled speedrunners, because the zip in this stage can be deceiving. It's like a false movement you can go off. Here, HatchetMansMyth totally bypassed the ladder section by zipping through the wall, which saved a good 15 to 20 seconds, I think, if I can remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong, but it does save a lot of time here. A lot of climbing also, you gotta notice with the magnet beam, which saves a lot of time. Here's gonna attempt another strat here for screen wrap. Unfortunately, didn't get it, but it's just a minor time save could have got here. Here also, from falling from the beam into this hole, you can wrap through the next screen and zip through the wall. Go a little bit faster. And here comes the big zip of the game. So this one, you want to zip through the floor of the next screen and bypass totally the ladder section and land on the other side. It's gonna be crazy.
Yep, I died.
Oh, he got death pixel there. So that specific spot, you have to jump at the exact position if you want to do the zip on this screen, or you get what we call the death pixel, which is when you get that, there's a really small chance of getting out alive there. I've only seen a few people getting out of this. It's really crazy, but I think he's gonna attempt it now. He doesn't have any magnet beam, so it's gonna have to go through the ladder section. So basically, down from the ladder here, you would have bypassed all the section and popped up just under there, which usually saves another good 10 to 20 seconds. But again, all those tricks are really hard to do just sitting down in a chair and concentrating. So while running, I can't imagine. Gotta be hard. And don't forget, every minute or second that Hatchet loses, it's minutes and seconds more he has to run on the treadmill. Alright, do the same thing with the Fireman. He's gonna spam the select button. There we go. Boom. And now we're gone through Fireman. So next stage is gonna be Bomb Man. The stage is gonna be pretty straightforward. There's only one big trick in this game, but this big trick actually saves a lot of time and saves a whole screen section. Alright, so you just want to shoot those little buggers at the beginning. Those movements of those guys. The movements of those guys are usually pretty random, so you can never guess where to go. He's gonna freeze the down turret here. Gonna jump over here and avoid those bullets. Perfect. Freeze the bottom guy, and then he's gonna be free to jump here without getting hit. Also here, here we gotta watch out for or a Sniper Joe. There we go. Just frozen. Switching to Magnet Beam. And the Magnet Beam here is really useful just to make yourself a bridge. Walk through that section. And you gotta avoid those bullet bill kind of guy. I cannot remember their real name. If anybody in the chat remembers it, would be awesome. But those bullet bill lookalikes. Here Hatchet is trying the zip setup, the fast zip setup. It didn't work, but it's gonna go for the safe setup here, which is putting a beam here. It's gonna go up this screen, press select, and zip through that whole screen, and go straight down to the boss, avoiding even those enemies. So that's a really, really great zip in this stage. You avoid completely the last section of the stage. And here again, it's gonna do the select boss trick for the boss, which works for most of the bosses except for the early ones. There we go. At least for the strat he's using. Alright, well, let's go to the last robot master now. Gutsman. And this is a big reason why people go for the magnet grab to be faster with those speed runs. You can actually bypass all the green platform section now with this, because regular gameplay, you wouldn't be able to have Magnet Beam before Gutsman, because you need actually Gutsman weapon to get the Magnet Beam the regular way. But since we bypassed that, we have the Magnet Beam here to go really fast. You can pass the stage in about minute 50 seconds, usually. It's gonna try to bypass that guy. Gotta be careful here. When you get hit by a hammer just before switching screen, that's guaranteed death. So he had to be careful with that there. So you see the stage pretty straightforward. Magnet Beam is it. There we go. The shinies going into the Hatchet stream. And another zip possibility here in the ceiling. Just have to put the position. There we go. We got one. So that makes you go really fast. It doesn't seem that much, but when you do 2 or 3 zips in a stage, it should save you at least a couple of seconds, guaranteed. At least I would say maybe 5 seconds, maybe even more in some cases. And there he goes. You got the fast kill on Gutsman. Nice. That was really nice. So now... Haha. Alright, so now let's go to the Wily stages. 1.3 miles going into the run. Nice. So you see it's pretty insane. I couldn't even walk that while running that game, personally. Alright. Maybe not that bad, but you see the point. Like, trying to get... Just to give you a good heads up, try to get a single pixel fix while the screen is moving and while your head is going up and down from running. That's crazy. So here it's gonna use the Magnet Beam again. There's a possible zip here, and I think he's got the set up a little bit too high for the beam. You could have zipped all the way through the wall up there and skipped those fireballs bars completely. There we go. He's got to do some tight jumps there with those fire bars. All right, Hatchet's going to safely here, getting some health. You gotta be extra careful, especially doing those runs. Like I said, on a treadmill, it's pretty crazy. All right, here again is gonna grab the bottom ladder from the top of the screen here. It's gonna bypass this the spike section. Now going all the way there. You gotta be careful not to fall into the spikes. That's very good. Also, you really don't want to run out of magnet beams during the Wily stages, because every Wily stage, when you go to Wily 2 and Wily 3, your weapons doesn't replenish, so you still have to be full of your resources of your weapons. Sorry for my accent, by the way. I'm French Canadian. It can happen. And here comes the dreaded Yellow Devil, which with the select trick isn't that bad. Personally, I think this boss is more annoying than hard, but here's gonna do the select trick which with one shot, which has got to be pretty precise if you don't want to miss anything, and here's got it successfully. Awesome. So next up, gonna go into Wily 2. Wily 2 is can be a nightmare for a lot of speedrunners, especially if you go for the big zip, but I definitely don't think that Hatchet will go for it because it can be game breaking. Definitely not a marathon strat. Alright, so here is gonna go for the refights now. Gonna be refight Cutman and Elite-Man in this stage. You can actually bypass those fights, but like I said, there's a glitch you can do with that, and it's really hard to do. Personally, I only use it when I'm in big trouble. That's about it. Here's gonna bypass those shots. Refill a bit of Magnet Beam just to be sure for the later stages. Here's the Elite-Man refight. Basically, just mashing select here. Be safe. You just gotta be careful to avoid those shots. Oh boy! Got a death here. Like I was saying, really hard to focus while running. Oh jeez. Well, at least the death was at the beginning of the stage.
Let's go. 2 continues, unreal.
Alright, let's go, Hatchet Man. Give it a big cheer. The last stages are gonna be hell, especially on the treadmill. Alright, going for the refights again. And the reason also you see him fight Cutman with the Buster, because the Cutman's weakness, the big weakness is with Gutsman weapon. And with Gutsman weapon, you have to get some concrete blocks to shoot at him, and you don't have any in this room, so
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate
Buster
it,
is the
man.
best option. The extra tread time, exactly. That's what I was saying. As you miss stuff in the speedrun on the treadmill, the run becomes longer, and you run longer, and you become more fatigued, and it's definitely really good challenge he has here. Alright, now we got through that section to go down. There's an optional zip which can be done here. I don't think it will go for it. Yeah, it's gonna go for the safe strat. But you can actually bypass the screen. Just going, well, not bypass, but you fall straight through the left section of the screen and go a little bit faster there. But it's risky. It's really risky. You can die from doing it. And here we're gonna fight. Who are we gonna fight? Let's check that. And yes, it has to be Mega Man. You fight your Mega Man clone, so the best way to fight him is with the fire. Fight fire with fire. Let's go. Insert Metallica song here. Alright, so basically you just have to shoot and jump back. Shoot and jump back just until he's dead, and that's about it. His shots are pretty easy to avoid. Just have to be careful. Alright, just 2 more stages to go. Wily 3 is going to be relatively short. And after that, Wily 4. Let's hope Wily 4 goes really well for Hatchet, because this one can be game breaking sometime even on a regular run. Alright, so here there was a possible screen wrap also to go a little bit faster, but he's going to go for a safer strat to make sure everything goes well. Here you got it. He's going to jump here on the Magnet Beam and do a really quick mashing. That's going to be really hard. Mashing start while running is not something I want to do. Yeah, man. There we go. Alright, so here, with those blocks, with the Gutsman weapon, you can actually dupe the block while pressing the shoot button at the exact frame that the block leaves the screen. So right, it actually didn't get any dupes. But what it does, it duplicates the block and you can shoot it again and have infinite blocks if you have the precise press of the shoot button. Like I said, just as the block exits the screen. It's pretty hard to do. And Wily 3 is done.
Final stage, guys.
Let's go to Wily 4 now. This is the big stage. This is the stage usually where your heart beats a lot in the run. All right, so you gotta go fast here to avoid those green guys. Now, as the green guy is gonna give him a shot, he's gonna switch to elect weapon. Now he's gonna bust the top block, get on magnet beam, and try to put the magnet beam just under the black bar. I don't know if you can see it right there. Oh, he actually got it. That was weird. There we go. So he's skipped a lot of a good section there also by zipping on the beams. And I think Hatchet's gonna go for his more safer strat with the bomb. He's gonna try to go for the boss refight skip here, which what it does. You mash start really fast. You get wrapped up. You get a death right there, and you get the respawn point just after the refight. So you basically skip. You skip Gutsman, you skip Iceman, Fireman, and Bombman fights to go straight away to Wily 2. So the run is almost done, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big fight. Let's go Hatchet. And now he's gonna shoot him with fire. Gonna be about it for the first part. You gotta be careful here not to get hit too much. Alright, I think he's got this. And time. Almost. Sorry. I called it a bit too early. Shit. So, my bad. Bad word. Bleep. Alright, he did it.
That was awesome. And he's still going. Still
going, man.
The victory lap. The arms in the air.
Insert Mario Kart Championship theme here.
That was awesome. That is, I can certainly say, the first time I've ever Mega Man played on a treadmill, and so skillfully at that.